Welcome to the Kingdom Man Podcast, where we discuss some of the hard topics facing men with a Christian perspective. I am your host, James Russell. It's been a little while since we've had a podcast, so what I want to do is catch you up on some of the things that's been going on. I know I mentioned in the last podcast, episode 52, that I was focusing more on my priorities and trying to do what I really need to be doing. And while I love podcasting, this isn't my day job. This isn't my normal gig. I get to do this with my side time. So I've had to push podcasting to the side for a little bit. I'm not going to blame anything. It's been by choice. And I'm sticking to my guns. While I still love Kingdom Man Podcast, I still want to produce good content and good encouragement for men out there to be strong Christians and strong fathers and leaders and husbands. I want to see more of that. I realize that some of what I say needs to be put more in practice. So that's what I've done. I've started some things this year that I've been wanting to do for years, but you may have, if you haven't listened to the last podcast, listen to it. I believe it's entitled 5 Easy Steps to Crush 2023. And I've taken some of these steps to heart. Now, I can elaborate on some of that, and I will elaborate on some of that today. Let me jump to the meat here, and then we'll see where it kind of leads us. My time has been taken up. I say taken up. I've given my time to learning jiu-jitsu. You may think that's cool. You may think that's waste. That doesn't really matter to me. It's something that I've wanted to do for many years now. So let me tell you about how that journey has gone. Now, I started this year at a weight I have never weighed before. Started this year at 220 pounds. Let me just go ahead and be honest out there. 220 pounds. One of my goals for this year is to lose weight. But unless I change something radically with how I lived my life from before, it's not really going in that trajectory. In fact, it seems year by year, and maybe you can relate, but it seems like year by year, we tend to pack a few more pounds on rather than take off. And I got to a point where I know I'm not happy with my physique. And I know my wife's concerned about my health and wants me to be healthy. And of course she wants me to be healthy. That's going to require some change. And change is never fun. It sounds exciting to do something different until you have to do something different. There's all kinds of opportunities and all kinds of things that you can get hung up on. There's a million different YouTube videos that you can watch about how to lose weight, and you need to take this supplement over that supplement. But basically, it all comes down to diet and exercise. And it's not one or the other. Yes, you can lose weight by not eating, and you can change your diet, but that doesn't make you healthy. And you can work out a ton and eat more calories than what you can burn, and you still gain weight. That's not healthy either. There has to be a balance, and that comes with diet and exercise. So I am working on losing that weight. I want to be healthy, which means not just not eating, which means more than just working out. It's a combination of diet and exercise. So if you are on the track of losing weight and being healthy, diet and exercise. Can I say it one more time? Diet and exercise. Don't fall for any other pill, magic pill that can make you have the body that you've always wanted. They don't exist. It doesn't work. It may work for a little while, but it doesn't mean you're healthy. You want to be healthy, diet and exercise. So that's one of the things that I've been working on. So I started thinking about that this year, and I started doing some fasting, and then I really got to thinking, I've been wanting to do jiu-jitsu for years. I've tried to get people to go along with me. There's all kinds of ones that are, programs that you can do this at home, so you don't have to go, get sweaty with random people. You can do it with your own people. This is a great way to work out So I was thinking this would be awesome. My thought, personally, is I don't mind being the worst person in the room. And when I walked into jiu-jitsu, guess what? That was true. Worst person in the room. Even though I outweighed probably everyone else in the room, that doesn't mean a whole lot when it comes to an art like jiu-jitsu. So I am learning how to learn again. I'm taking time to learn a skill to make myself better, more deadly, which is kind of sexy, and healthier. I think this is a good thing. It's a good thing for me. It may not work for you, and that's fine. I have my reasons, and I feel like this is going to put me where I want to be. Now, I could take the same time and go play some pickup basketball. I can take the same time and find some other sport and lose weight. That'll be awesome. What I like about jiu-jitsu is I can lose the weight and get better about being more deadly, which again is kind of sexy. But right now I'm just getting my butt beat. But I'm learning probably slower than some of the other teenage folks in the room, but I'm learning. I'm taking the opportunity to make myself better and acknowledge that I'm not all that good. I find it exciting because there's nowhere to go but up. It stinks on the bottom, but there's nowhere for me to go but up. So I have something to look forward to. So what have I learned from my jiu-jitsu journey so far? Well, let me go ahead and just spell it out here. I've only done this for a month, 1 month. The school that I go to, they have 3 classes a week. I've gone to 2 classes most weeks, 1 class some weeks. So I probably have only 7 classes under my belt at this point. So as far as learning the art of jiu-jitsu, I have not learned much. But I'm learning things about me. I've learned that I have little cardio anymore. And when you're wrestling around and putting pressure and trying to choke out people, you kind of need to be able to breathe. And I did not do well. The first night there, I was seeing spots. Not a good place to be. My second night there, still seeing spots, but not as many spots. And I've gone, like I said, this month, and now I don't see spots as much. If I'm going really hard, I'll see some spots, but usually, the last couple of times, I've been pretty good. It hasn't been an issue. I've learned that it doesn't take long for me to be smothered by a skilled opponent and for me to have panic start to set in. And I don't like that. I don't like that. Because when you panic, your breathing increases, but it doesn't really give you more breath. You begin to hyperventilate. So in your attempt to breathe more, you're actually breathing less. When you panic, your mind goes into a flight mode where you begin to think irrationally just to get away, to stop the discomfort. And what tends to happen, especially in the art of jiu-jitsu, is what you do is try to get away, and when you get away, you actually give up your back to your opponent. And if you're with a skilled jiu-jitsu player, it doesn't take long for them to take your back and to submit you. That's not a good thing. So I'm learning where I am weak, not for the sake of knowing that I am weak, but for the sake of knowing where I am weak so I can strengthen myself. That's kind of where I am in my journey. Like I said, it's been 1 month, so I don't have a whole lot of time. I don't have a whole lot of philosophy here. I've got bruises. I've got sore ribs, but I'm happy. Because now I know where my weaknesses are, and now I know how I can start working on those to shore them up, to make me better, to make me stronger, to make me harder. Now, you may be thinking, that must be nice that you have the time to do jujitsu. But I've got 6 kids at home. We don't have time. And that's fine. I understand that. But what I've come to realize is I didn't find time for jujitsu. I made time for it. It's something that I'm having to work with my wife in order to make sure we can accomplish this, because I don't want my marriage to suffer as a result of going to jujitsu classes. I can't let up in other areas. I got to be able to figure out how to include this if that's what I'm wanting to do. And it's a struggle. But going back to my last podcast, is this year is not going to just give you the best year of its life. You've got to make it the best year. So what you've got to do is make the time to be the person that you want to be. Clearly communicate with your spouse, with your kids, with your family, with your friends about the kind of person that you want to be, and let them know how the journey that you are wanting to take is a path that can get you there, or at least you think can get you there. It may not work, and that's fine. If jiu-jitsu doesn't work for me, that's fine too. But I want to be healthier. I want to be harder. And this is one way that I've found that's working for me so far. But I had to make the time to make it happen. Now, you may not have the ability to add anything else to your schedule right now. But I guarantee you can do 20 push-ups before you take a shower every day. You've got the time to do that. And if you don't think you have the time to do that, check your phone. It's got this new ability that can track where you're spending all of your time. It tracks what they call screen time, and will let you know exactly where you're spending time. If you don't think you've got 5 minutes to do 20 push-ups, then how in the world are we spending hours looking at Instagram a week? Some of us every day. You've got the time to make yourself a little bit harder, a little bit stronger. The question is, are you willing to do what it takes? I want to be the kind of person that doesn't wish for things to come to me. I want to be the kind of person that makes things happen in my life. And I want you to be that kind of person. Make your life great. Because if you're waiting for it to come to you, you will always be waiting.